Well, hi everyone. It's a new day, and it's Tuesday, December 8th, I believe is the day. I planned on being up here yesterday, but my day got away from me. I had so much admin work to do, and I had to pay bills, and that took me a few hours to get all the bills paid. So I'm up here today. I have a bit of a late start. I have so much to do. I would love to make soap. I don't know if that's going to happen today. So this is where we've left these. I did spray them once or twice on like Sunday and Monday. I don't think I even came up here Saturday at all. So let's take a look. Let's see what they look like. Okay, here we're going to start with the strawberry. Oh, that's nice. That's actually a really nice color for the strawberry soap. And then let's see. The last time I looked at this had a little bit of weird coloration going on. Oh, it looks like it evened out a little bit more. So here we have the peach soap. You can see over here on the edge, it's a little more orangey than this section over here. So I guess we'll unmold it and cut and just see what happens. I'm happy with either of those colors. I wish I would have added a little bit of the white mica or some titanium dioxide, but it's done. It's done now. So I really hope to be making a couple of batches of soap every day this week. But I went ahead and I listed all of the remainder of the products. And I have 40 some orders to pack now. I'll probably split it out over a couple of days, maybe 3 days, just so I can get in some soap making. But I still have to print all and box this stuff. So yeah, so I guess I'll work on getting that done. I decided I probably better get these unmolded first so that they can kind of be drying on the outside. That makes it easier when it's time to go cut. So this bottom just slides out of this brambleberry mold. And then I have the silicone liner and I just peel it off. It always makes such a nice edge. Oh my goodness, like a spot of blue down in there. Good thing this is just a test mold. Must have spilled a little blue mica in that liner that I didn't notice. Anyway, so here we have the strawberry soap. Where's that blue? There's the blue. Whoops. Anyway, it smells good. It's a little plasticky to me. We'll just have to see how it cures out. As it is right now, I probably wouldn't use it, but, you know, we'll just have to see. Okay, so now for the big one. And this one, I know that I'm never happy with the fragrance right off the bat. And I just know that I have to wait it out. And I used this one before. What did I call that soap? Maybe it was, I called it Peaches and Cream. Maybe it's been a while, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know. Anyway, one of my friends, Jody, really enjoys this fragrance. And she's a peach lover, so she ought to know. So I am using it again. Oh boy, come on. And I do know that I also like it. So we're just gonna reuse this blend. All right, well, I guess we're just gonna come back after that later. There we go. Let's shimmy these out. They're much easier to unmold when I do wait a couple of days. This one did leak in the mold just a little bit. That's where when you fold it over it helps prevent that, but I'm still cool with it. I have a tiny bit of ash right here, but I'm fine with that too. So for this one, let's see, we'll do it that way. So I'll pull these out. We can use that for some fire starters someday. We keep all paper trash. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I don't know what color it thinks it's going to be. Looks like it's going a little bit more towards the orange. So we'll just see. We will just see how it turns out. So maybe in a little bit, I'm going to ask my husband to come up and put up one of our big tables so that I can just prep a bunch of boxes and all of that really quickly. So that's what we're going to do. Maybe he'll cut this while he's up here, is what I'm getting at. Alright, well, I guess I will package these up. I can't tell if you can see or not. My little microphone doodad is in the way. I'll just work over here. Went the wrong direction there. Some cute little white boxes. You know, I did not do any of this season. So this is new one for me. So these are just some Gone Wonky Snowflake sea salt soaps. I'm just going to make sure they look good. I'll just tuck them in the box like so. So I found some, I love country music. I've just always been a country music person. I don't listen to a lot of stuff that's happening nowadays, but I found like a 90s country playlist, and now they're speaking my music language there. And there's some people, they've left us already. Like, we lost Joe Diffie this year to COVID, and several others actually, but also like Kevin Sharp died way back when, and Mindy McCready. And it's just kind of sad, actually, just all the ones we've lost. And my favorite, all-time favorite, is George Strait, and unfortunately he's not that young anymore. Darned it. Oh, anyway, but I do love my country music. I have seen Garth Brooks and George Strait in concert in Kansas City. I haven't been to too many concerts, but I have been to those. My brother took me to both of those. That's been a long time ago now. So let's see, when George Strait was in Kansas City, he played at Arrowhead for like a festival or some sort that he was doing. And so, let's see, we had, pretty sure there was Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. And I remember not even watching their concert. We got up and wandered around. That just seems silly now, doesn't it? Leanne Womack was there, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember who else. It was a hot day, I'm pretty sure, if I remember that part right. I remember being hot. But once it was cool later in the night, then George, he was performed at night, of course. And that was pretty epic. Now, Garth was, he came to Kemper Arena. It's not called Kemper Arena anymore, because now Kansas City, you know, has the Sprint, I don't know, the big Sprint place anymore. I haven't been there, but that's where they do most of the major concerts now. And I've not been there. It was always Kemper Arena. Kemper was the big one, and then followed up by Arrowhead Stadium. I've seen Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith, I think, a Christmas. I think that was a Christmas dealio. Saw them at Kemper Arena. But Garth Brooks that one was really, really epic. He is very good at what he does. He is a great performer. I loved that. We went with a bunch of my brother's college buddies. And I remember being a little bit nervous because my brother was like sticking with his girlfriend pretty close, you know, and I'm like the third wheel, even though there was a whole bunch of us there. But I was obviously the youngest. Oh, look, I had just the right amount of boxes left. That's awesome. And I was the youngest, and my brother's friend Cooper was a really big dude, and I was like, I'm sticking next to him. I probably wouldn't go to a concert nowadays just because I'm kind of a germaphobe and I don't drink to excess by any stretch of the imagination. So, I don't know. I don't think that a concert would be a scene for me anymore, but I'm sure happy that I was there. Oh, I gotta get boxes for those too. Alright, so I'm just going to cut my labels. So we just have full sheet labels right now. Now that we have the new laser printer and it feeds really well, I will probably go to actual shaped labels so we don't have to cut them anymore. And I also noticed that it makes these labels just like a hint darker in color than my last printer did. Let's see. So it's not the easiest thing in the world to cut all these soap labels and you have to peel them off. So now that we're doing better, we're going to invest in the actual shapes again. This poor cutter of mine, it's been through a lot. It has done just so much for me. It's gotten a little bit on the... It's not gunky as in dirty, but it has some wax and stuff that I can't seem to get out. I shrunk these just a little bit, and I shouldn't have done that because now I'm having to do even extra cuts. So I changed these just to say Gone Wonky because that's what they are. They're a little lighter weight, such. Oh, let's see. I'll have to take a little extra off of here. So the cutting is a process. It's a major time killer. Major. Looks like I cut those. I even cut the labels just a little bit wonky. They're not too bad. Not worth redoing. I've thought about having them professionally printed, but you know, I switch stuff so much that it's just not worth it for me right now to do individual product labels. I could probably do wax melts because those don't really change a whole lot. But like right now, I'm in between wax, so that's a bit of a, you know, that's a problem because I'm using Parasoy when ultimately, maybe I should do these in first. Ultimately, I want to go back to my soy, so that wouldn't be smart either. But even with the soaps, you know, I switch back and forth. With my milk sometimes I typically make most of my soaps coconut, but like now I'm doing a round of the goat milk buttermilk blend, so obviously then that would work to have my labels done already. Oh, anywho's it. That's the story with labels. Alright, I gotta get rid of all of this over here. It's gonna drive me bonkers. So once you end up doing this, you know, for 2,000 soaps in a release or something like that, good golly, that gets to be a lot. But it's fine for right now. So I had some Wild Berry Blizzard Gone Wonky also. These were some of the smaller bars. And then back to the Merry Cranberry. Alright, so I'm done with the cutter, I think. So I'm just going to work on labeling these for a moment. No, I did not actually cut that one very well. Since it's white though, it's very forgiving. Doesn't really show too bad. Thinking about doing some clear labels on some products now that I've got a nice laser printer. I could do that a little bit better. Remember how I've told you guys in previous videos how my husband, when he labels, these are always just perfectly laid out. I don't even know how he does it. Like, he's just that, like, he's just precise. Me, you know, wherever they go is where they go. Get out of my way. I always thought I was super particular, but turns out he's a little bit more so than me, which actually works out nicely because he's a great helper. He's my number one. He's my star employee. Okay, so the Mary Cranberry ones are done. And then we have some of these Wild Berry Blizzards. So you can see how they're shorter there in the box. My hands are always very clean, in case anybody wonders. Because I am a germaphobe. So if you've thought about it, I've probably thought about it way more intensely than you have already. I'm one of these people that I do struggle to watch making videos for some other makers because they're just always, they've got their gloves on, right? But they're always touching their hair and they're pulling their shirt down. Now, this is clean. Everything's very clean here. And I'm just packaging with paper, so I don't worry too much about pulling my sleeves up. But if I were doing something with gloves, I absolutely would not touch my clothes. I don't touch my clothes. Now, unless you've caught me on something that I just did it just out of, you know, whatever. But I make it a habit. Like, when I make scrubs and stuff, and my husband's up here, I'm like, pull up my sleeves, please. They're getting in my way. It's just important to me to not touch stuff. Like, what's the point? I remember watching a bath truffle or bubble bar making video forever ago, and had gloves on. The person had gloves on. They pulled up their pants and they pushed their hair back. And they scratched their nose. And, you know, pulled their shirt down, and another thing for me is, okay, the apron is cool and all, but when you start using your hands to wipe off on your apron, it's not exactly very clean anymore. So I'm going off on a tangent. I don't mean to be. I'm overly particular, and I know I think about a lot of things that I'm on to the coffee now. I think a lot of things that other people don't think of. I'm one of those people that I'm so like OCD that if someone comes into my house and does something that I deem unclean, I will memorize, and I don't mean to do it like on purpose, but it's just who I am. I will memorize everywhere they've been from that point forward. And we'll be doing some cleaning, but no one's been in my house for over a year, so other than us, and we're all well trained in our house. Like, I watch these cooking shows, and it's like they're handling raw meat, and then without the benefit of like space in video and transitions and all that, they just go and like touch their oven door and slide their hands into oven mitts. Like, I can't even watch television cooking segments like the Today Show or something like that. Can't even watch it. I just have to wonder why these people aren't sick. I mean, I guess that goes to show that maybe it's a little harder to get sick than you realize. But I don't know. Not taking any chances. And I grew up with people that didn't really wash their hands that much, and it wasn't even really enforced in our household. So the fact that, you know, I had to learn that as an adult, which is just super stupid if you ask me. You know, we washed our hands after we went to the bathroom and such, but just like being super particular about, you know, you handled eggs and you washed your hands, or you cleaned a chicken in the sink, you know, maybe you should sanitize the sink type of a thing. But so I think that caused me, once I got into the thought process of that, I think that's where a lot of my germaphobe tendencies came from, because I did relearn it, and it was just like, it was so like obnoxiously in my face. And I think that's, you know, to go on the tangent, I guess. I didn't mean to do that. I might as well finish my thought process, right? You know, in COVID, people have learned to use hand sanitizer, to use a mask, don't go places if you're sick, etc. But pretty much the only reason why we were ever sick was just from going places. Like, we went all year long, one year, without getting sick until my boys went to a movie theater. And next thing we know, we were all sick. And it's just one of those things where people go to the movies sick, and they eat popcorn, and you know, they're touching the seats and all that. But the same with the grocery store. We were already in the phase where we let things decontaminate. Even in the summer, we would bring home groceries and just let them sit there, because you can't go to the store and watch people wipe their nose and then grab stuff. And we don't even want to talk about things we've seen happen at the deli that people are supposed to be clean, and think you're not going to get sick from that. So anyway, being sick for us and for me is, you know, like any person who can't work. But when you're like a small business owner and this is what you do, if I'm down for 3 weeks, that's a huge hit for us. It's not like my husband can just go work on his home computer and get stuff done. Like, I don't come up here if I'm sick. So that means, you know, just 3 weeks is just a loss. And I have a lot of stress building up to the fall and holiday releases, and I'm super particular so that we don't get sick. Okay, let's just stop there. That's good enough. I think I'm going to put all of these Gone Wonkies in their own bin here so that I can keep them separate. These are just jumbo box bins from Paper Mart. I get asked that a lot. I love them. I really do. They've made it super convenient to turn, you know, one of those shelf dealios into product storage. So I just wanted to add one thing in case you're all, you know, really absorbing my OCD-ness, weird germaphobe story. Being a mother caused me to go down the path of being a germaphobe, because you're, you know, changing diapers and everything. And so I was really struggling with dry skin. And that's where the whole home soap making stuff began. And that was clear back in 2008, I think I made my first batch of soap. I think I was interested in 2007, but I didn't make it until about 2008. But I didn't start my business until 2012, I believe. So just in case you were wondering, I was well on my germaphobe tendencies before I ever started making soap. So here we have the products are just in here. And I can just, I'll probably just leave them over here on this table so that I can pull from them, and I just know they're separate. But maybe I'm going to put them over there actually on the shelf. There's plenty of room. well, this order is going to Terry in Washington. She's one of my bestest customers ever. We've got peppermint snowflake, a couple of those, a sleigh ride wax melt, and a plum crazy lights wax melt. And I think I will try this 8. It should all go in here, but we'll see. Might have to put them on their sides. It fits this way, but it's a little snug for my liking, so I think we're just going to do them upright. Put down just a little bit of shred at the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, that'll still fit fine. And I am starting to run low on some of the wax melt, so the samples. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to pop in a chunky sleigh ride sample. We're just going to have to go easy on the samples now because we're kind of right there at the end of everything. I don't have a whole lot left. But we'll still put in a cocoa and everything. Put that in like so. And I've packed plenty of orders on video, so I don't think I'm going to really do a whole lot here. I just want to get these done. I don't think I'm going to be able to make any soap today. I just think it's already almost 2 o'clock and it's just a little bit late for me to start that process. And this is just how it goes. That's why I don't actually get as much soap made as I want to, because I didn't get up here until too late. But if I get a good bunch of these orders packed today, I probably will have time to do it tomorrow. It's sunset time again. It's so cool out there. I don't know if you can even see it as beautiful as it is, but it is sure a pretty sunset. Okay, so I have the orders all packed up. I managed to get all of them done today, so there's 44. It's about 7 o'clock, and of course now I need to go cook dinner for the family. I'm thinking about just leaving this table up for now, but it does kind of get in the way just a little bit. So I didn't get to washing the dishes, which I wanted to do today. I didn't cut that soap, but my husband did come up and he got the peach soap all sorted, so that's done. I need to wash these. Look at these cute molds I got in. These are bath bomb molds. I got an ornament and a gnome, and then some embed square molds. I need to wash those. But that's it. But before I'm done for today, I want to take you outside to show you something that brings me much joy. So this is what I wanted to show you. The house is looking beautiful with all of the rainbow lights. I have a couple of lights that are being a little persnickety. They come on and then they go off. But look at it. Isn't it pretty? My husband knows exactly what I like. And so they're all rainbow, of course. We've got Frosty there. Oh gosh, I just love this. It just looks so good. So the porch just looks so pretty. And here we have Frosty. Frosty doesn't have arms anymore, but he's hanging out with us again this year. Boy, it's noisy out here. Dogs are barking. There's heavy equipment. Then we have these lights. Oh my goodness, I love them. Aren't they awesome? That's so fun. But this is the part that I especially love also. Have lights all the way down the driveway. And that poor little tree is stuck on rotation. It won't stay on the colored lights. So, you want to walk with me? These are colored. I don't know if that's popping up very well or not, but oh, it just looks so good. It's so cheerful. I'm gonna be brave and walk out here without my Doberman. I usually don't go outside without my husband at night, without either my husband or my Doberman. But the Doberman has a bit of a sore foot, so I'm not gonna make him come out right now. You know what the easiest way is to not get snatched up is? You eat cake. If you eat cake, it makes it really hard to snatch up. So I'm going to say I'm probably pretty hard to snatch up. It's very spooky out that way. Yeeks. So here at the end, we have a little deer, but he's getting a reindeer. He's getting a little dilapidated, but isn't he cute? He's sassy. So I just look back up at the house. Oh, it looks so good. We're not done yet. My husband is still going to put lights around the shop and the garage, but ran out of clips and nobody has clips right now. So anyway, isn't it gorgeous? I spent the longest time outside last night, I think it was. It just makes me so happy. I just want to stay out here. If you need me, this is where I'll probably be. Alright everyone, I'm going to go in and cook some dinner, and I will talk to you later.